Kraken Home Ice is sponsored by Primera Blue Cross, always in your corner.
Welcome to Seattle and the start of a new season in the National Hockey League.
And the new captain of your Seattle Kraken, number 7, Jordan Eberle.
Montour gets it. Eberle scores! Hey, hey, what do you say? Jordan Eberle and the Kraken win in overtime. Loose in front on a backhand score! Jared McCann.
And that's 100 for Jared McCann as a Seattle Kraken.
Here he is as the puck came tall and Duclair comes up large. It's a 24-save shot for Joey Cord. Here's Montour with a shot. He scores! A shot. Primo says no. They follow it up. Brandon Montour with a couple of chances. One-timer Montour scores! The hat trick for Brandon Montour. He zips it in. A tip out in front. Oliver Bjorkstrand was on the doorstep.
Oliver Bjorkstrand gets his 50th goal as a member of the Seattle Kraken.
Happy holidays and welcome to another episode of Kraken Home Ice. We hope you had a very Merry Christmas. In tonight's episode, we're taking a look back at some of our favorite Kraken moments, interviews, and stories of 2024, starting with the one and only Brandon Tanev. Chris Egan talked to Turbo about his road to the league.
Oh, Tanev scores! Across, they score! Big shot, he scores! It's Brandon Tanev who gets the goal.
Now in his 4th season with the Kraken, Brandon Tanev has not only become a force on the ice, he's also one of the fan favorites.
Now Tanev walks in. He scores!
Tanev grew up in a hockey family in Toronto. Both of his brothers also play.
My dad has done so much for my brother and I, my mom as well, my little brother, we're a very close family, 2 other brothers, very passionate about everything we do, especially sports. And, seeing my brother go through his journey going to college, getting an NHL contract, having a successful career is light at the end of the tunnel, and it helped me get to where I am today.
Brandon's number one love was hockey, but at the age of 15, he was cut from his minor league team for being too small. Brandon didn't let that stop him from chasing after his dreams.
I think it's never tough to step away from the game you love, especially being from such a hockey-crazy town in Toronto and being Canadian. But at the same time, you never lose love for the game. You're kind of still watching it, following it from afar, even though you're not maybe involved in it. But, when the opportunity came around, I was fortunate enough to get a chance to play again. And when that opportunity comes, you need to take advantage of it.
After junior ice hockey, Tanev went undrafted. So instead of heading to the NHL, he played at Providence and helped the Friars win their first ever national championship in 2015.
Tanev, he scores!
Nearly 10 years later, and Tanev is busy trying to bring the Kraken their first Stanley Cup. Seattle fans simply call him Turbo. In Latin, turbo means spinning. Turbo also means super, accelerated, and ultra. But how does Brandon define turbo?
That's a good question. I think you hit the nail on the head there with all those different terms. But it's just one of those things where it's stuck, just kind of always buzzing around and, humming, I guess is a good way to put it. But, a lot of energy, bundle of joy most times, and, just go out there and just kind of be yourself.
He's been a treat to fans in Seattle, but Turbo also likes to play tricks, especially when it comes to photo day. Tanev's spooky headshots have become a tradition like no other.
There was no intent. It was one of those things where we took a picture at media day in Pittsburgh, and then everyone was asking me, do you want another one? I'm like, no, I'm sure it was fine. I didn't see it. And then obviously it kind of went viral and blew up. So it's one of those things where everyone's enjoying it now, and so you kind of stick with it, and it's a great way to connect with, people in hockey and fans.
Jared McCann is known for his sharp shot and skills on the ice. But off the ice, he's known more for his famous four-legged friend. We talked to McCann about life in Seattle and his corgi, Cheddar.
Loose in front on a backhand score!
And that's 100 for Jared McCann as a Seattle Kraken.
You know, it's obviously a huge accomplishment. Especially after my first year in the NHL, you know, being traded, I didn't really know what was going to happen, and obviously, you know, being traded at a young age is tough. And, you know, it's just had to stick with it, grow mentally, and just try to become, you know, a player that I knew it could be.
McCann is one of the original members of the Deep. Seattle quickly became a place he's happy to call home.
It's time to yeet the fish.
We love it here, and you know, it's we're outdoors people too, so it obviously makes it a lot easier.
When McCann isn't on the ice, he's likely enjoying the outdoors with his wife and their corgi, Cheddar.
Everybody loves him. You know, he's a very friendly guy, and he likes to say hello to everybody. And you know, if I leave him alone for a second, he's in, you know, the coach's office or something, doing something. So you know, you definitely got to keep an eye on him.
As we celebrate the holiday season, we talked to head coach Dan Balsma about his favorite holiday and family traditions.
You have a favorite holiday I mean, it's the holiday season, but do you have one when you look at Thanksgiving? You know, maybe it's St. Patty's Day, maybe it's Halloween.
No, I would say it's Christmas. I think they both are, Thanksgiving and Christmas, really a time to be with family, a time to be thankful for where you're at and what you have. The memories of the Lions playing on Thanksgiving Thursday always, you know, they're memories of gathering around the tree on Christmas Day with extended family, so I'll say both.
Underneath your Christmas tree, maybe when you were a kid, you could have found a golf club, a baseball bat, baseball glove, or a hockey stick and puck. I love this about you, state baseball champion, very good outfielder, state golf champion, and obviously a very good hockey player. Talk to me about the importance of being a multi-sport athlete.
I think it develops you as a all-around person as much as it does an all-around athlete. And the mindset of different sports adds to your adaptation to whatever sport you end up choosing, which in this case hockey, but the things that you learn and you grow from in other sports you can use to help you learn and grow in hockey as well. And that's why I think it's critical for all those reasons to play multiple sports if you can.
Coming up, we'll get to know the man behind the iconic That's Kraken Hockey, baby. John Forsland tells us about his early days and his prep for game days. And we're chatting with Philip Grubauer about lessons he's learned from his favorite animals, horses. Stay with us.
Assist of the Week is sponsored by Primera Blue Cross, always in your corner.
The assist of the week goes to Jared McCann. Earlier this month, McCann assisted at Tiffany Park Elementary, playing ball hockey with the students. There were smiles all around as Canner taught fourth graders about leadership, equity, and teamwork through hockey. The kids even got their very own Kraken swag. One day, John Forsland will find himself in the broadcast wing of the Hall of Fame. After 25 seasons with Hartford and Carolina, Forsland made the move to Seattle. His mission? Build trust with a new fan base. I think he succeeded.
And here's with a shot. He scores!
As soon as I got here, there was something about Seattle, honestly, that felt very right, felt like the right place for us as a family, for me. So the beginning was easy, and then as we got into it, I felt welcomed by the fans, so then I could easily do my job.
Welcome upstairs, everybody. John Forsland along with Eddie Olczyk.
I want to bring passion to a game that I love so that they love it. And educating on the fly, much like the game. The game is the fastest game in the world, played at a breakneck speed with free substitution. There are not a lot of holes within a telecast to educate, but we do have to. So we take time to do that.
John's on a flight a few times a week calling games. His intricate preparation starts before bedtime and continues when he wakes up.
This book is a scorebook where you have, basics, records, home and road, last 5, last 10.
Watching hockey every single night which is easier on the West Coast. It's a great thing on the West Coast, but that's how you stay in tune with exactly what's happening daily. Because as soon as you let that go, you miss something. That would drive me up the wall. When there's 16 games played in the league, it takes me 3 hours to go through every game that's played the night before. That's the first thing I do in the morning. Then I get to my game prep. So on a game day, roughly 4.5 to 5 hours of preparation, which usually includes morning skates, but that's on top of the preparation. And then I'm usually done early in the afternoon so I can relax when I get to the rink early and get ready to do the game.
And when the game starts, Forsland kicks it up a notch.
Sandberg from the point, scooped up, fumbled, and recovered by Joey Decor.
I stand because I have a lot of energy. I can't sit still, and I feel the game better, and I can anticipate, because as a play caller in hockey, you have to anticipate in your mind before you say something.
Despite growing up where basketball was invented, hockey became Forsland's calling at an early age.
It was May 10th, 1970 in Springfield, Massachusetts, and the Boston Bruins were playing the St. Louis Blues in the Stanley Cup Final, Game 4. Bobby Orr scored this memorable goal that's been captured in photographs and video of him flying through the air in overtime to seal a 4-game sweep.
Behind the net, the Sanderson, Orr!
And it was Dan Kelly, who was the voice of the NHL on CBS, who had the call that day. And I listened to it, and there's something, tickled my fancy. There was something about it that it sparked an interest, so it became a hobby. And my parents gave me a tape recorder the following Christmas, and I started calling games off the television, working on the preparation you see today, a very similar thing I used to do with every game I did for fun. My dad did color, and that was kind of a bonding thing for the two of us, and I did that all the way through and into high school. My dad and I went to games every weekend. We had a minor league team in Springfield, and we bonded that way. That was our time together. And unfortunately, my dad passed away when I received my first paycheck in 1984. Suddenly, he died at a young age. And but he was with me, and still is today, but he was with me then on the way up, and I think that bond, along with the love for the game, I can't really explain it, but I had that.
And Kraken fans can feel that love, particularly when John busts out his catchphrases.
It goes high! That's Kraken hockey, baby!
I really feel that's part of what we do here. It's not just the team, but it's also what the Kraken mean within the community. That's Kraken hockey. The That's Kraken hockey, baby, is the tag for a win.
Stevenson, Bjorkstrand, he scores! That's hockey, baby!
But I use That's hockey, baby on any terrific play. It's organic. So I never think of it beforehand. If it's a great play, it's coming out nationally or with the Kraken.
Kimberly with a shot, he scores! Hey, hey, what do you say?
Hey, hey, what do you say is a tribute to my deceased dad. So he used to say, hey, hey, what do you say to everybody when he met them, on the ball field when he was a coach. So in the minor leagues, after he passed away, on a bus somewhere, I came up with, I'm going to use that to tag a goal. So then I took it a step further. When I feel the game's put away, and it's easy in overtime, but when I feel the game's put away, that's when I say that.
Goalie Philip Grubauer is known for his involvement in the Seattle community and his love for horses. We talked to Gruby about lessons learned off the ice.
Nason turned out by Grubauer, a dandy.
Seattle is home for Philip Grubauer. As an original member of the Kraken, Gruby is thankful for the constant love and support from the fans.
Without the fans, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be able to do what we do here. The support from before him playing the first game, it's been incredible.
Grubauer also has a love for horses. He was surrounded by the sport of dressage growing up in Germany, but he really got to know the animals when he was playing hockey in Colorado. One of his buddies wanted to buy a ranch that came with over 100 horses, and that's when Gruby knew he had his work cut out for him.
Being on that ranch, we kind of both said we got to know what we have to do. So started riding a little bit, started learning.
When he moved to Seattle, Grubauer started volunteering with Save a Forgotten Equine, or SAFE. SAFE is a non-profit organization that rescues, rehabs, and retrains horses, often taking in horses that have been seized by animal control and come to the rescue in pretty bad conditions.
But I found a passion and a love for it, and it's been amazing just to see the transition from when they first come in to when they get adopted and all the happy faces.
The horses go through a program where they start to trust humans again. And Grubauer says the trust is mutual. He's learned a lot from the horses.
Like they pick up on your energy, they pick up on your how you feel. Like if you're nervous, they're nervous too. So you got to always bring down your emotions and your excitement to a certain level.
McKinnon on the outside, shut down by Grubauer.
During a game, you always got to be even keel, and I think it's a big life lesson they taught me.
The Kraken's Jessica Campbell is making history this season as the first female assistant coach in the NHL. We'll hear from Jessica about setting an example for future generations. Also on Kraken Home Ice, we ask the players about what they say when an Uber driver asks about their job, and their responses are one of a kind. The Kraken started their season in a historic way, naming Jessica Campbell an assistant coach. She is the first woman to coach in the NHL. Mimi Jung talked to Campbell about the history she's making and her journey along the way.
I'm so focused on just being a coach every day, and I lace up my skates the same way as everybody else, but it's just I'm different right now in this space and I'm new to it, so I think experiencing just the magnitude for what it feels like for everyone who's watching and really behind this and seeing it, that's when it really brings a lot of meaning to me, because I just love what I do. I'm extremely passionate about coaching, and obviously I'm so proud to be a Seattle Kraken and to get to be here now and living out my goals. I can't even really put words to just the magnitude of really the weight that I get to carry this torch so proudly.
Do you believe that we're going to see more female coaches in the NHL? I mean, you're the first full-time assistant coach. It's a big deal. It's significant. Do you think that you're opening the door for more opportunities for women?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is just the start of a movement. I think once something is done, others have the permission to do the same. And I'm so proud to be a Kraken because of what this organization, this city is part of and represents. It reminds me every day that the work that I do is that there's so important that we do a good job and that the impact is a positive one, because I do think that with that happening, then more women are going to get the door held open for them.
You seem like you've had such confidence even as a young girl in a male-dominated area. What kind of advice would you have to young girls who are watching right now who want to get into a male-dominated career or profession?
There's challenges with everything we do in life, and if you enter into a space and you don't see anyone that looks like yourself, that doesn't mean you're any lesser than or not capable of. And that's what I would remind all the young girls, is because if you love what you do, you're passionate about it, then just chase it fearlessly. Like, there's really no obstacles or challenges that are holding us back other than the ones that we put within ourselves. If you just stay focused on the path, you don't worry about what representation there is, what other opportunities there are. If you just do what you do, go about your work, put in the work, day in, day out, and prove yourself, then anything's possible. And I know that because it's been a big part of my journey, is just doing the work, staying committed to the work. And I feel like I'm here today because I kept my focus on that.
And on that note, since you've now achieved something pretty significant in your life and your career, where do you want to go from here? Do you want to become the first full-time head coach of the NHL, the first female?
I want to win a Stanley Cup first. I don't care what position I'm in. I'll fill water bottles, but yeah, who knows? I mean, with time, I've changed and grown a lot as a coach. The opportunity comes and I start to go down that path, and I don't see why I can't become a head coach one day.
In this holiday version of Kraken Home Ice, we're bringing back one of our favorite shootouts of the season. We asked some of the Kraken players, what do they tell an Uber driver when that driver asks them what they do for a living?
Yeah, you go off the board with this one sometimes. You gotta read the room a little bit. Sometimes I'll say like volleyball player or something funny, or I just say just like I'm here for work.
Never the truth. I don't usually just tell them like I work in finance or something.
I'm just here on a convention. I'm a sales representative.
Usually hockey player, I think. Most of the time hockey player usually sparks a conversation because it's probably a unique one, but that's usually what I say.
I'm honest most of the time, or I say I work at Costco.
I just say I'm a student. I like to switch it up. I either go like history teacher, astronaut, something crazy like that.
Visiting family.
Usually I'll say hockey just to not be rude, or I'll just say I'm a dog walker or something.
That I'm a student.
Just a business trip.
The Kraken goalies have some pretty memorable masks. We talked to Joey DeCord and Philip Grubauer's mask designer about the inspiration behind their one-of-a-kind designs.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey.
I think I got the words right again there.
Thank you.
The goalie masks of Joey DeCord and Philip Grubauer are unique, showing off their personalities while keeping them protected. Ariel Ursuto finds out more about their designs.
Their masks are as flashy as the leather they flash as they deny puck after puck.
What a save by DeCord!
The goaltenders of the NHL are artists in the crease, and they wear it proudly.
I think that's one of the coolest parts about being goalie. A lot of people play goalie just because of that. We get to customize their own gear. Like I fully customize my own pads, my own masks. Yeah, we're pretty unique out there.
They're the most fashionable guys on the ice, but it takes a whole team to bring these goalie designs to life.
So my mask painter, his name's Shifty, that's his paint name. He's down in California. He does an awesome job for me. And basically what happens is I usually give him an idea and I say, hey, like this year I said, hey, I want a dark mask and I want a white mask, and you do whatever you want and have fun. This is my home mask, so I wear this when we play at home. And then this is the one I wear with our white jerseys on the road. So it looks really, I think this one's actually one of my favorite ones I've ever had.
Two unique looks united by Joey DeCord's must-haves.
Well, the back plate's the same, so this is the back. So got my name here, my nickname, and then got my 3 nationalities, so Switzerland, Canada, and then obviously United States, where I went to college. This is the Sun Devil pitchfork. This is the House Stark logo from Game of Thrones.
While Joey outsources his designs to his go-to guy in Cali, Philip Grubauer goes to his guy in his very own building, Kraken art director Drew Hamlet.
We sat down and talked about a few things that he's passionate about, things like the outdoors, fishing, horses. So after that, sat down, sketched out a few ideas, and we've kind of been doing that back and forth the past few seasons. I think we try to bring in parts of the city, parts of the region, and then also make sure it still represents what he wants.
The first win of the season for Philip Grubauer.
And that'll do it for this episode of Kraken Home Ice. We wish you a happy new year. Thanks for looking in. We'll see you next week.
Kraken Home Ice is sponsored by Primera Blue Cross.